everyone. Thanks for being here again. I appreciate your time. So today I'm going to talk about pressure switch. So pressure switch could be two situations. Basically, you're going to see here either, let me see where we are. We are here. We're going to see here, right? You see it? 2 blinks, pressure switch stuck, remain open. 3 blinks. First. 4 blinks, pressure switch, failure, remains closed. So there are two scenarios where pressure switch can be a problem, okay? So if you get 2 flashes, it's gonna tell you pressure switch is remain open, and the 4 flashes remains closed, okay? So I'm gonna stimulate one case where basically these are the pressure switches. Now remember, the pressure switches sometimes they will tell you, because every pressure switch belongs to one stage or any stage, because every time you have 2 pressure switches, 99% you have 2-stage furnace. Usually if you have a furnace that is a single stage, you're gonna see, for example, like pressure switch like this, just 1 pressure switch. Sometimes you can see 2. The most number, I think, is 3 of them. I have seen the 3 pressure switches. Now, the pressure switch basically works together with the inducer motor. Anything goes wrong with the inducer motor, anything that sends weak negative pressure for the gas valve, it will shut off the system. Okay, and same thing will happen with a 2-stage or first stage. Now, always first stage will come on, regardless if the 2-stage is pressure switch is bad. Again, I don't know if it's every furnace, but I have seen when the 2nd stage pressure switch is bad, the first stage will come anyway. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna stimulate like a open switch. Basically, I'm gonna just remove this, and we're gonna stimulate this together. Okay, so we're gonna pretend that, you know, the pressure switch is not closing. So when the pressure switch is open, it will send a signal to the furnace that, hey, the inducer motor is not pushing the flame as quick as possible outside. So in this case, I'm gonna just fix the camera a little bit. In this case, see that's the 2nd stage. You see, I disconnected. I'm gonna disconnect the first stage just in case. So this is the first stage. I'm gonna mark it for you so you know, just so you know. The bottom one, I will put 1 on it here. This is 2, okay? Just in case. So now, as you see, I stimulated, we have a bad pressure switch. Now we're gonna have, as I was telling you, 2 flashes, okay? Now what this means, the pressure switch is open. Now let me tell you something about the pressure switch. Pressure switch can only go 2 ways. Either it's closed, remain closed, or remain open. Why I'm saying that? Because the pressure switch basically, let me just explain to you. The pressure switch basically, it will sense the negative pressure of the inducer motor. Now remember, inducer motor is like a vacuum. Basically, it's just a powerful vacuum motor. What it does, it will suck the flame into the heat exchanger. It will travel all the way. I will show you later how the heat exchanger looks, and it will shoot it into the chimney. Now, if anything interfere with that flow of the combustion in from here out, if anything slow it down or restrict it, the pressure switch will monitor that negative pressure, which is vacuum, and then if there is something wrong, if it doesn't satisfy the requirement pressure on the pressure switch, it will send a signal to the control board, and it will say, hey, wait a second, stop. You know, it's not safe. The inducer motor is not pushing the combustion strong enough into the chimney. Now let me show you something before I continue this. So as you see here, the pressure switch has a pressure reading. You see that 0.20, 0.40. That means the vacuum, the motor has to be powerful enough. It has to be sucking the burners much higher than this reading. If it's lower, then this pressure switch is made to stop the system. It has to be 30, 40, 50 anyway, as long as higher than this. That's, I told you, remember it's the first stage, now you have a second stage. Now, that pressure switch is supposed to be open all the time when the system is off, and it's supposed to be closed all the time when the system is on. As soon as the system turns off, this should open. Now let's pretend I open it when it's not supposed to be open, right? Let's suppose I removed it. See, immediately will stop the system, and it will give you the flashing. Okay, now I'm gonna do another scenario where I will show you how, if it did not close, because now we have it open when it's supposed to be closed. We're gonna have it, the other situation gonna be open when it's supposed to be closed. Give me a minute, okay? So now, as you see, I put a jumper on these two wires to stimulate that the pressure switch did not open when it's supposed to be open. As I told you, the pressure switch is supposed to be open anytime the furnace is off or no power, whatever it is, it's gonna be open. The only time it should close is when the inducer motor is running and they call for heat. So now, watch now, after the furnace will stop and I will call for heat, and you're gonna see it's not gonna run because the control board is talking to the pressure switch. Hey, are you open? We're gonna turn the heat on. Are you open? And then if the pressure switch I stimulated is closed, the pressure switch will say, hey, you know what? I'm closed because I'm broken, and I'm not gonna be able to let the control board run, the inducer motor run, because it's not safe. I cannot sense the pressure. Because the reason why they do it this way, because they don't want, let me show you 1 second. So now, as you see, we got the 4 flashes. Let me see. 1, 2. Oh, it's the same one. Let me see. 2 flashes. 1, 2. So let's go back to the reading 1 second. Okay, so I have to call for heat first, and I believe it's gonna give us 4 flashes. 1, 2, 3. So now we're calling for heat, W and R, and this is supposed to be open, but I jumped it, right? Okay, so let's start from the scratch because I was supposed to start from scratch. So let's see now. Now the control board is trying to kick the inducer, but it's sensing the pressure switch is not open. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. See, that's what it is. Okay, so now when the pressure switch is broken, it's not safe for the system to run because the pressure switch has to be healthy because it has to monitor the inducer operation. So as you see now, we did it. We stimulate close. Now, why pressure switch will close? Now, pressure switch basically is like a small pressure switch, and if you imagine it's like a diaphragm, like a rubber diaphragm, and basically, if you blow on it, you're gonna hear the click. I'm doing it now. Usually, when you do that, that also can help you to fix it because you might be releasing that small switch. Now, that switch inside could turn off and on a zillion times every season, so it might stuck. If it's stuck, as I did here, it will not work. And then since it's not working, and as the control board will not gonna have a reading from pressure switch, so it will tell the system stop. Now, as soon as I remove it, same thing. If I remove that jumper, sometime by doing this, sometime you hit on it, just don't go crazy like this. You might remove it. And then it's gonna come back to operation. Watch. See that? I removed it. It came back to normal operation. Now let's go back to my point. Gonna stop it for a minute.